Malcolm has a problem with his 2012 Jeep Compass. Something about the headlights. Let's see what they're doing. Hey, Malcolm, what's that Jeep doing to you right now?
It is a 2012 Jeep Compass, as I told you, and it has the remote start feature. It's all factory.
Mm-hmm.
And we noticed a few days back, or a few weeks back, actually, my wife tells me, the headlights would come on randomly at night or in the parking lot when she was at work. And, we said, well, let's go out and we'll check the key fobs. So the key fobs work. The batteries are okay in them. What she noticed last night, and what I noticed last night, I checked it with my fob and her fob, is that when you locked it, it would unlock almost right away. And it would take 2 or 3 times for it to actually set and stay locked, but the lights would still come on randomly. You got any ideas?
Yeah, it sounds like you may possibly have a door jamb switch that is not making a good connection. It's weak. And the crazy thing about some switches and some, well, you'd almost call that one a sensor, is that they can be temperature sensitive. So I think the reason that it's doing it at the later hours or in the middle of the night more than it is other times is because when the temperature gets down to a certain point, and it may, when it gets colder than a certain point, it may be fine. If it's warmer, it may be fine, but right in a certain temperature range might be when it is losing connection. I've seen horns do this years ago. We used to run into a fair amount of them, but somebody would say that they would, at about the same time every night, their horn would go off in their car and wake all their neighbors up, and they would have a fit. And horn contacts can do the same thing inside the steering wheel itself, where you normally would push the horn. They would be very close together, and as soon as the temperature got a certain point, they would actually touch and make the horn go off. Sounds like that's what you got. I would recommend having a vehicle scanned. The computer may have picked up something on it and set a trouble code. If it did, it would give the technician a place to go. Something you may want to do before doing that, because of course I always like to save money. That's the deal. And checking stuff.
Absolutely.
You may wait until it cools off a good bit, and say you might have to get up in the middle of the night to do this. I'm sorry, but walk around the vehicle and just kind of barely bump the doors. Bump one, then bump the other, and just see if anything might set it off. Because if you bump one and all of a sudden, boom, the lights come on, then you will know that's the one that's losing contact. And then when you take it to have it repaired, or if you repair it yourself, you'll say, well, this is the door jamb switch I need to do. Because door jamb switches are not cheap like they used to be, where you just screw a little thing in there and it pushes a button. They're built into the latch assembly now, and you have to be a contortionist to change them.
Are there any relays or modules that could possibly be a problem?
You do have a point there. Good shot. A headlight relay could cause that. And a couple of different ways to do that. You could do the same thing, wait until the certain time and kind of tap on the relays also. But another option you might be able to do is many of the relays are the same number, and you don't want to take any chance on swapping a relay that's not exactly as the other. But you may find a relay that has something to do with you wouldn't want to use your fuel pump or anything like that, but a fog light relay or a different relay that really is not that important, and just swap it and try it for a while. If the problem goes away, you'll say, well, that relay might be. But a relay on headlights is a possibility that it could do what you're describing. Now, most other items on the car, it wouldn't, because most items would cut that relay, cut the power to that relay when you cut your switch off. But that headlight relay would still have power. So, yeah, that is a possibility. Good catch. You need to be up here sitting with me, answering questions.
Okay, well, now, another little curve at you. What about the door locks coming unlocked?
Well, that's one of the reasons I led toward a door jamb switch. I think you may have a weak door jamb switch.
I see.
And a technician can actually have with their computer, once the computer's hooked up to it, they can actually open a door, and the computer should say door open, or it will have it on the screen there, and then close it. Now, if that technician closes the door and it still says open, that technician can say, well, that's going to be a bad door jamb switch, and that's your problem. So all that can be tested on a computer,
Right.
but I do feel like you most likely have a door jamb switch that is not closing, making contact when it's closed, and then when the temperature gets down to a certain point, it's breaking contact also.